Hey everyone, this is Robin Graves, and this is the World According to Graves. Mike got you one. Akira, very good. Jap animation. It set the standard. That's oh my god, it's been 27 years since it came out. Holy crap! Put that there. Got a little bit of my Pepsi. Take a little sippage here. So my voice is not up to par today for some reason. Wow, one of the best things ever came in a bottle, as far as I'm concerned. Uh, I had a lot of ideas for today. A lot of things I wanted to do. And this being Wednesday, I thought I'd do something kind of different. This is something that really pisses me off. You know, get this light going. Don't want to look like a zombie here. Maybe I should wear makeup. Who knows? But anyway, I decided to do it on something that kind of pisses me off. Well, kind of, I guess, is a mild term and stuff. Uh, there's I've been watching a lot of things about climate change over the years, and I research a lot of it. And thank you, Windows, for interrupting me. Windows 10, gotta love it. Um, I've been watching a lot of stuff about climate change. I remember Al Gore back in 2003 and 4, um, 5, especially 2004, with his movie An Inconvenient Truth, which I honestly was curious and sat through the trash. And I noticed a lot of things that were half truths and a lot of fallacies. And I've been following this for a long time. I was actually an advanced storm spotter. My license is, well, on the wall back there. If I can see right there, right below it's the crooked one. uh, I was an advanced storm spotter for the NWS, National Weather Service, for a while. In other words, I chased storms. I was with a group that, well, to put it mildly, what we did was we did what a lot of what you saw in the movie Twister. We did a lot of that chasing storms. You know, we didn't have the set out a Doris or whatever they want to call the little machine or whatever it was. We actually spotted and reported, and I saw some pretty hairy things. I was involved in some pretty hairy incidents. Uh, I remember seeing lightning so bad it looked like fire pouring out of the sky. Now I wasn't here in Georgia. I was in the middle part of the United States, Tornado Alley. We went all over Oklahoma, Arkansas, North Texas, Kansas, Southern Missouri, and we saw a lot of really interesting things. But a lot of stuff that I saw, and let me get this chair figured out. This chair's not very. I gotta get a new chair. Um, a lot of stuff that was said by these climate activists uh, were actually kind of from what I was seeing was wrong. 100 years ago, weather-related disasters killed 500,000 people a year. That was only 100 years ago. Now, worldwide, only about 20,000 a year are being killed. That's a 95% drop. You know, and this disproves activist claims of the weather killing millions. But activists claim their alarmist language works, to get their point across. These are the same people that want to limit your speech because they don't agree with what you say. Everything is hate speech, according to these same people. Um, you know, I don't understand these people. It's like turning climate change is a relatively new thing. The term is because it was global warming when I first discovered this mess back in 2003. It was all global warming. Uh, I the whole thing has changed. They have changed their whole perspective on it, and they turned it into a religion. I remember, oh golly, uh, back in 2015, going to a Walmart here here in my area of Atlanta to buy. I think it was the new Mad Max movie, Mad Max Fury Road, whatever it was. On the way out, back to my vehicle. I was driving a Jeep at the time. This man and this woman, young woman in their 20s, come over to me and started explaining to me how I owe a carbon tax because I drive an older Jeep and I'm buying a movie which is made of plastic, which causes carbon in the manufacture of the plastic. How I owe a carbon tax and I need to pay them a carbon tax. And out of morbid curiosity, I asked, well, how much do I owe? And they actually had a checklist on a clipboard. They're going through things, and they were asking me all these questions, and it came out that I owe them $25. I threatened to call the police, that they're trying to extort money out of me and all this. And said, oh, it's not extortion. They gave me a card for information to go online and to look up information about carbon taxes and how that helps the environment. It never said where this money goes whatsoever. Now, I've done some research and everything. A lot of these things are done by rich kids telling lower classes how to live. You know, climate change activists remind me of the aristocrats in the Hunger Games. They want to tell you how to live and what to do without to make your life even less, enjoyable than theirs is. But you don't see them going by their own rules. Al Gore, for one, decided to run around giving speeches about climate change and how your car is causing climate change, and you eating meat is wrong for the environment. It's bad for global, at the time, global warming. Everything you were doing in the lower classes was causing global warming. Let me get this light changed again. Get it figured out here. I need to get hold of a guy I know, Akil Wade, is a lighting expert. I need to get him out here to do my lighting. But no, here he is telling you this, but he's living in a mansion using all this electricity while riding a jet from place to place, lecturing you about global warming and how carbon creates this climate change and everything. It's killing everybody. These people that stopped me there in front of Walmart one time back in 2015 actually were telling me that this goes to fight the bad carbon in the air, in the atmosphere, to fight the bad carbon, bad carbon dioxide. And I said, I thought there was only one carbon dioxide, since I was kind of a math and science whiz and everything through my life. And they said, oh, it's the bad carbon dioxide causing the climate change. It's become a religion to these people to sit there and regurgitate the crap that's told to them by these activists. I've seen these activists actually doing their little things out here, the little protests, where it's a bunch of young liberals, kids, dancing around like a bunch of hippies in the 60s. And that's their way of fighting, of saving the rainforest. That's their way of fighting against climate change, is to go out and do these little things. Looks like Burning Man is what it looks like. They're in Marietta, Georgia. I literally live a stone's throw. Literally, I could throw a rock and probably hit the Marietta city limits. And and I sit there and I see these people out there doing their things in the summertime and wanting you to donate to them, to their cause and everything. I guess they're looking for money to pay for their DMA and acid. The way these people are acting. I would be ashamed to go out and act like these people. I mean, I can't describe how ridiculous they are. I see a guy out there dressed up like, in war paint, cat, in war paint, whooping at the top of his lungs while doing this rain dance thing. And when he got arrested for creating a disturbance, the people who were with him was like, he's fighting climate change. He's fighting climate change. Yeah, I guess they should let him finish his dance or to save the world. Yeah, whatever. But there's so many problems to this. In Europe, there are riots of common citizens due to climate taxes, and we're talking 20 to 35% taxes on things that are deemed bad for the environment. Everything from meat to gasoline to plastic products, any product they deem that's bad for the environment, and it's gotten out of hand over there, and people are wanting that here. You know, isn't aren't our lives hard enough trying to get by without higher taxes like this on anything? You know, it seems they're after our guns. They're after more taxes on everything we do. They're against eating meat. I want to know something about these people. Oh, there's another cat in the kitchen. It's got up on the shelf there. Um, these vegetarians, vegans, are wanting a carbon tax on all meats because meat is wrong. Meat is murder. Meat is bad for the environment. Meat causes climate change. You know, they're more interested in cow farts than they are how people are supposed to live. You know, and I want to ask a question of all vegans out there. Um, if meat is so bad, what are you trying to make your vegetables taste like meat for? Why? You, I just want to know. But anyway, getting on with with the story here. You know, jeez, get my notes here. I had everything here set up just perfect and everything. No matter how I try to organize things, they're always disorganized. These climate change experts are telling you how you have to change your lives. Well, jetting to Daddy's ski lodge, virtue signaling by getting Impossible Whoppers from Burger Death, all the while talking about how they give a shit about the little people. You. Yeah, I mean, they can afford to go get their little Prius, their little hybrids. You know, they want you to switch to a hybrid car. They want you to switch to a Prius. They want you to switch to all these things. But they don't tell you something. Um, what they don't tell you or fail to understand is that when you're driving, you go buy that hybrid, such as your Prius or your Nissan Leaf or your lawnmower mobile, whatever it is, that runs primarily on electricity. They seem not to understand something. One of these cars creates a bigger carbon footprint than the car you're driving that runs on gasoline. I'm going to tell you why. First off, when these batteries go bad in these cars, which they have to be changed a lot, some of these cars have to, I believe one of them has 110 batteries, if I remember correctly. That's what I was told. I pay no attention to these vehicles. I'm not going to get one. There is no chance of everyone being in my driveway. I will set one on fire if it comes in my yard. What they don't tell you is the batteries. You can't dispose of them. There's no way you can dispose of these batteries. They're so toxic. They actually store them in warehouses now. There is a major warehouse in Florida that a lot of these just stored in because they can't recycle them. They can't do anything with them. They can't dispose of them. They're too toxic. Not to mention the metals that are in these batteries. They have to mine for these metals. And these mines are quite large. They strip mine. That's the only way they can get these metals. They can't go in and tunnel mine because it's nearly impossible. They have to strip mine to get these because there's such small amounts in an area. And that creates a really large carbon footprint. Not to mention the manufacture of the base metals that are used in this car, the manufacturing processes to melt the metal down, shape it, and paint it, and everything else. They're not telling you that. That's something nobody wants to think about. We must get a hybrid and save the universe. Well, making a hybrid is destroying the planet. But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to think about that. It doesn't use gasoline. It's electric. So we're saving the environment. Where does the electricity come from? You know, power plants. And some of these are actually coal-powered power plants, since nobody wants nuclear power plants, which are cleaner and safer. They want to sit here and talk about, well, it's a nuclear bomb waiting to go off. No, it's not. Once you get somebody in there who builds these, who knows the physics and the engineering behind them, they're totally safe. They use Fukushima and 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl as examples. Well, it's been proven that each one of these were due to human operator error. It was not design error. And these are the ones who were built the way they were built in the 70s. Okay? Nobody anywhere has come up with a new design which can be easily done, but nobody wants to fund these because they're dangerous. No, they're not. They're no more dangerous than driving a friggin' Prius. So, when discussing the truth about climate change, it's hard not to laugh at the actions of the climate change activists. It really is. I mean, I can sit there and scream and yell and be pissed off at them, but it doesn't do any good, so I'd rather just laugh at them. Because honestly, they're very comical. Excuse me, I have to cough here. Okay, good. Didn't have to make a cut. I didn't have to look stupid. I told you first. But I mean, maybe if our cars could be ran on false claims and had partial truths instead of fossil fuels, these people would make $1 million. But so far, I don't see them doing a whole hell of a lot of anything but making false claims and partial truths about this. Here recently, I was reading a story, and it was even on national news, that Greenpeace, yes, those people, well, their ship, while they were sitting there munching on their wheat germ and soy milk, their ship got caught in the ice in the Antarctic, where there was not supposed to be any ice. They say that all the ice had melted. Well, evidently it didn't melt because their ship got caught up in it. They had to call for a rescue. I think that's hilarious. You know, they're talking about how the ice caps are melting. The Arctic is melting. Well, not exactly. It's not really melting. It's staying pretty much the same. Now the southern part, Antarctica, they're talking about it's gone. It's going to be gone soon. It's actually growing. Satellite images have proven the ice is getting thicker and whiter. It's actually growing. So they can't make that claim anymore. You know, before I go, I'll make this one a little short today. I'm not going to bore everybody. I was told not to mention the Swedish girl's name because, well, she's getting too much attention as it is. It's really nice to get the left will sit there and use a child to push their agenda. I have very little respect for anybody who wants to use a child to push an agenda. Believe me, showing lefties, you're showing how desperate you are. But here's some claims made by climate activists since 1968. In 1970, Earth Day was made a holiday. Now, this is a little trivia here. The original name for Earth Day by these climate activists that wanted it, we want to push it really hard. This is the truth. They were going to call it Green Holy Day. That's what they want to call it, but it ended up being called Earth Day instead. These are the same people that are atheists, mind you. This is why climate change activists have made their scare tactics very pretty much to their religion. Speaking on this, I need to go. There is something going on right now. There is a thing due to the climate activists that they're saying that the younger people right now are having a thing called eco. Let me go back here. I've got it here in my notes here. I want to get the name right here. It is called eco anxiety. Yes, because the young people today believe that the Earth is going to be gone in 12 years. The Earth, their parents, and everybody they know will be gone in 12 years. Thank you, Senorita Donkey Chompers. I'm glad you got your thing to happen. Yeah, that's why right now we think that they're all jokes. Anyway, here's since 1968. There have been some. Since 1968, there have been some really weird claims made by these climate activists that we can actually see that they've been wrong. They've been wrong on every one of these. By 1975, this must have been a dire famine. A famine so bad that 90% of us were going to starve to death and die by 1975. There wouldn't be any food for anybody. Let me get another drink here. My voice is starting to get a little weird. Throat's a little sore. So please bear with me here. Forgive me if I'm talking fast here, guys. This has just got me a little up in arms a little bit. I'm trying not to laugh here. So please bear with me if I'm talking a little fast here today. No, the Dark Famine by 1975 is supposed to kill 90% of us. The food shortages be so bad that if we didn't starve to death, we'd be killed by marauding hordes of people trying to steal our food from us. Yeah, that was supposed to happen by 1975. The new ice age was predicted to start in 1976, 1978. You're going to see a pattern here. they were talking about a new ice age, how global cooling, how carbon dioxide was causing the planet to cool, and everything. By 1979, no record lows were ever had happened like they said. There might have been one or two way up north, way up northern, in northern Asia. But for the rest of the world, it never happened. In fact, I believe it was 1979, Mount St. Helens exploded. They were talking about how just the carbon dioxide from that was going to end the world by 1981. Yeah, I remember Mount St. Helens exploding. I remember watching and hearing all the claims and thinking the world was going to end, that this was going to be the end of the world because of this volcano. The truth is, 99% of the carbon dioxide in our air right now was caused by volcanic activity, not by human beings. And believe me, cows passing gas, now let me get this, did not make much of a difference. They're not telling you that the CO2 is actually absorbed by plant life and oxygen is released. They're throwing a fit right now. They've been throwing a fit every time there's a fire in the Amazon, saying the Amazon is the lungs of the world. What they're not telling you is that fires start in every forest, burn off the new growth, the old growth, and the new growth takes over. So a forest catching fire is a temporary setback at most. So let me go on here. Acid rain is killing off all the lakes. This is the mid to late 70s, I believe. They were talking about how that's going to be killing off all the lakes. All the lakes would be dead by 1980. I don't see any dead lakes. In fact, do you see much acid rain anywhere? Not really. You know, this is something they come up with. The I guess they went on a piece of litmus paper and tested the rain. Oceans will be dead by 1980. Yes, I remember this. I remember this very, very well. They were telling us this in school back when I was in, I believe, sixth grade. They were telling us to get ready because there'll be no sea life whatsoever. The oceans will be completely dead by 1980. I was in sixth grade, I think, 1978. You know, a lot of people had panicked, and a lot of people today don't remember those things happening. They don't remember the claims that were made back in the past that went right by and nobody did, nothing happened. There was never anything done to stop any of this from happening. It just didn't happen. The claims were false. They were this was to scare people into believing in all of this, in global warming and ecological disasters and all of this mess. Let me see, get here. Global warming thought of in the late 90s, early 2000s, because I guess the ice age didn't happen. So now, it's getting warm now. I'll tell you right now, go online and check record temperatures. Nobody has approached a record temperature. Record temperatures here in Georgia, there has not been a new record really set since, oh my gosh, I believe the 20s. And I live in the deep south, and it's supposed to be hot here. It's been 90. I think it was 96 degrees for a week here, and at the time, I'm hearing people out here talking about activists here in the south talking about, oh, that's a record. It's never been that hot here before. Really, the 20s got up to 117, I believe. So yeah, you guys don't let them tell you what to think. Hold on. New York City flooded by 2019. Yeah, you see people surfing down Broadway. Yeah. Times Square. That looks like a fishbowl now, doesn't it? Yeah, flooded, right. The Maldives gone by 2018. Maldives are still there. Jeez. The polar ice cap's gone by 2014. Didn't Greenpeace's little ship get caught in the southern ice caps? It's around the South Pole. The Antarctic? Yeah. Okay. Sure. There'll be more hurricanes. I think, was it last year? This year? This year? I can't remember. It was last year, this year. I believe it was last year. The hurricane came through Georgia, hit Atlanta. Yeah, I remember a little bit of rain. I don't remember a real hurricane or anything. In fact, they were talking about the hurricane hit in 2005, hit New Orleans. That was the biggest hurricane on record. No, it wasn't. In fact, they did core samples down there and found hurricanes 1,000 times worse. It happened a few thousand years ago. Uh, you know, nobody really understands what causes a hurricane. They have a theory, but they don't really have a working model of how it happens. But more hurricanes. In fact, this year I've seen less. But they'll use that. They'll say, well, that's what climate change causes. It causes less. It's all climate change. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. Oh, that's what caused by climate change. I remember global warming. I was arguing with some global warming idiot back in 2000, and he was telling me, I was telling him, well, it was global warming. Why is it really cool this summer? That's what global warming does. It makes it cool. Yeah, okay, then why are you calling it warming? That's stupid. So anyway, they got a new thing. They call it climate change. It covers the whole range because, well, ice age wasn't true, global warming wasn't true. Now it's climate change. They have another scary term that they're using that they just started using a couple of years ago: climate disruption. Notice the word climate change, climate disruption, change, disruption. Which one sounds more dangerous? Which one sounds worse? Disruption. It's all semantics. That's all it is. Several months ago, a very new scary term brought up by Senorita Donkey Chompers and her handlers. Uh, only 12 years left. We only have 12 years left. Yeah, that's like, you got some offer in a store. Come see us. You only have 12 minutes left to get this such and such for free. We only have 12 years left. I'd like to know what the science behind that. I'd like to know where they come up with that mess. That's her cause for the Green New Deal, because we don't do that. We'll only live 12 more years. Yeah, we want a railroad track across the Atlantic. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Now, I like the new thing they have going now, since Greta Thunberg, or whatever her name is, a mean little sounding Swedish girl who reads a script. See, it's now their new term is, just give us your money or we'll make the little girl cry again. That's pretty much all it's become. It's a big scam, people. So far, every end of the world scenario that's come up has been a scam. They've been caught fudging numbers, playing with numbers, and throwing in things they just made up to go to try to prove their point. Just because they want something, they're going to say it's true. Well, the truth and what really goes on are two different things. Their truth is definitely not really the truth now, is it? They've made all these wild ass claims. None of these happened. Now they're saying, we got 12 years left. I don't know where we got this 12 years left from, period. I want to see what happens. I'm willing to sit there and see if it happens in 12 years. Does it happen in 12 years? Cool, whatever. If it don't, I'm going to point my fingers and laugh. Believe me. Well, guys, it's been 28 minutes and 27 seconds. I wanted to make this a short one. Evidently, it's not going to be a short one. It's kind of long. Average length. You guys join me tomorrow. Putting out the Thursday episode tomorrow, I'm hoping. I've got a few ideas I'm going to juggle around tonight and figure out which one we're going to be doing tomorrow. So, you guys be good to each other and talk hard. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.